underlines an important point. I actually talked about this on social media this week about, I think a lot of people misunderstand social media in the sense
Mhm.
that they only focus on the digital aspect of it, right? Can I DM someone? Can I meet someone digitally and start a conversation? I think what's really cool and powerful about what you did was you took those digital connections and made them real world connections
Yep.
and built real
Mhm.
relationships. Can you talk a little bit about the
Yep.
importance of that for young people who are trying to build an
Mhm.
audience? Because I meet a lot of young people
Yep.
whose social skills are only on social media. They can't have a real conversation with
Yep.
a real person.
Yep.
It's the importance of having both of those and that balance still in a ever-changing
Yep.
digital world.
Well, it really is. I mean, there's a practical benefit. And the practical benefit is the way algorithms on social media are built right now is that they don't rely on likes as much as comments. So for LinkedIn, for Instagram, the way that you get more views on your post or end up in the discover feed or end up, doing really well with a LinkedIn post and getting blasted on multiple people's pages is mainly through comments because every platform has recognized that it's really easy to leave a like, but if you're leaving a comment, it means you actively seek that content out
Yeah.
and you're engaging with it on a higher level.
Okay.
So the biggest thing to do then is think about how do I drive comments? How do I make sure that people who view my content feel an urge to comment? And sure, you might have those one-off posts where you have a kick-ass call to action, you have a post that really just tugs at the heartstrings, and that's going to work. But for most of your posts, I don't think that's going to be the case. For most of your posts, you need to have a community that just really fucks with you as a person. And
Yeah.
that no matter what you share, they love you as a person, which is why they're going to go in and comment because they want to have that conversation with you. And that's where you have three ways to then connect with them. You can just reply to them, and that's underrated, especially on LinkedIn. Like even today, like I have over 130,000 followers on LinkedIn now. And I think the reason I have such a big community is because I reply to every single comment I get. I don't care if it takes me until 3 a.m. to get through my comment section. I will
Smart.
make sure that every single person in a reasonable time frame, like within a week of that post being up, I will try to get back to that person. And I'm not just going to be like, thank you, or I'm not going to
Yeah.
be like, the fucking two hands emojis. Like, I'm actually going to try to respond.
Real
If you left
interaction.
me a valid comment, I'm going to try to respond with a
Very
valid,
smart.
appropriate response. The second thing, which I did early on, I don't do it as much anymore, is getting on a 5-minute call with people that comment on your post. So don't only just reply to them, say, hey, you want to get on a quick chat? Really appreciate you reaching out and commenting. And doing those 5-minute calls is great because people actually get a really quick idea of who you are. They get to quickly talk to you. And then the next time they see your post, now they're like, oh, I spoke to Swish. Yeah, I like him. I know exactly where he comes from. He knows a bit about me. And you form a deeper connection than just only relying on comments. And then the third and final thing are meetups, right? And just actually physically being able to see people. And obviously, right now, virtual events are in because of COVID. Throw a virtual event, and two people show up, it's totally fine. Like my favorite example of growth is Mr. Beast. You take a look at Mr. Beast, it's like he's so community oriented and he didn't give a shit about how many followers he had initially. PewDiePie didn't care about how many followers he had
Gary Vee
initially.
too.
Gary Vee, like all these people, you can go back and find the pieces of content where they were like, thank you for 100 followers because they genuinely meant it.
Yeah.
So that's just important to be able to kind of go into that mindset from day one.
You just gave us a great clip that I think is going to be valuable for a lot of people when we
Yeah.
put it out.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
dude,
glad. Thank you.
that's like,
Yes,
that's crazy.
finally.
That's the recipe, but
Yeah.
it's also, I think it gives you a lot more respect for the people who are actually building these platforms and communities day to day, right? It's not,
Yeah.
it's
easy.
not just people posting, booty
It's a lot of
pictures on
work.
Instagram. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
there's a lot of work that goes in. I think kudos to you on how much time you actually invest in making sure this community around you is feeling valued.
Yeah. And Seth Godin has, his 1,000 customer or 1,000 loyal fans or loyal subscriber
Yep.
thing. And I think that still is valuable and important because
Yep.
you can have 1 million followers if they're not engaged with you and genuinely, it doesn't matter how many followers you have.
Yeah, I don't even think you need 1,000. I think, personally speaking, on LinkedIn, I think you only need 15 people to really care about you. And if you got 15 comments per post, I guarantee you're hitting like 5,000 plus views per post already. That's just the way the
Wow.
algorithm works. It's the way LinkedIn is, because LinkedIn has over 80 million people that post, sorry, not that post, sorry, 80 million active users in North America. And only about 10% of LinkedIn users in North America actually post. So there's a lot of white space there. And so
Yeah,
in a
I'm
world
part
where,
of that white space. I'm going to get
right, you know,